Hello, I know it's been a while since I made my last video, but I just decided to make one today. I'm out at Manchester State Park in Port Orchard, Washington, next to some government property. Let's not get on the other side of that fence, but we'll see what we can find. Let's go. I'm going to be walking along this fence up a hill, not crossing it, but at the top of the hill we have this pretty cool looking tree, all sorts of twisted and almost dead, but I just thought it looked pretty cool, like an octopus or something. I'm not really sure if this is an actual trail for the park or if it's just here because of the fence and people follow it. Did also notice this huge tree stump here, like my hand fits in that hole, and that hole is only part of it. That was a big tree. Looking at a map, that facility over there beyond this fence, you can kind of barely see it. It's a Manchester Environmental Facility. We also have the U.S. NOAA facility not too far down the beach from there. Always curious what they do in those types of places. I know somebody knows. People obviously work there, but I'm always curious. So I was walking, I came across some more well-maintained trail area. Even this nice little old wooden bridge that you gotta walk across. Doesn't really look like there's any water under it, but not really sure. Don't want to test it. Just gonna keep walking through the woods here. Go up this other little hill, see what we can see. I can imagine on a nice clear day, it's a pretty nice view up here looking over the Puget Sound. Today, it's a little overcast and gray. Pretty steep drop though. Kept walking up our trail here and I came across this cement pad seemingly in the middle of nowhere. Always makes me wonder what used to be here. There are some other buildings I'm gonna go check out. Let's go see what they're all about. This one just seems to be some storage for the facilities upkeep. Store is also locked. Nothing really to see inside that I can tell. Probably more maintenance or facilities, but you can see the lock up in there. Not sure if they came through. Not really sure what these little holes would be for though. Hard to tell. Plane flying through the clouds. Looks like an old plank. It's probably used at one time to get on a boat. I'm not sure why it's on top of a hill, away from the water. What it's used for now, maybe just a plaything, but let's walk across it. What kind of boats or water was this on before? I don't know. Walking around this area, on the edge, a little bit deeper, there's a building. We'll see if we can get to it. I'm sure there may or may not be an easier way, but this is the way we're going. Oh! Foot's buried. There's definitely a trail to it. There's not really an easy way down from here. I'm gonna see if I can do it though. Well, that definitely wasn't the easiest choice or direction, because there's a nice trail on both sides of this thing, but let's see if we can see what's in here. There's a lock on the door. You can kind of very narrowly peek through this little hole, this crack in the door. It's just a bunch of pipes and tubing, it looks like. And around the side of it, we've got hole marks. Just makes me wonder what this place used to be used for. Like a pump house or something? I don't know. Not much else on it. Exact same size as the other one we just looked at. I'm really curious if I can get down this embankment. Guess getting down wouldn't be the hard part. More worried about getting back up. I'm gonna use my better judgment on that one and see if there's an easier way down, like I should have done for that shed. I'm really curious to know what's along that water line down there. Guess we'll find out if we can get down. Walking along this trail. See what we see. Would you look at that? There's a trail down there. There is an easier way. There goes the Bremerton to Seattle ferry. Say a few too many people tried to go down the way they shouldn't, and they need to put up this makeshift fence, but I can see why they tried. Let's see if we can get down there. So originally, this whole area used to have a torpedo or a mine factory for the Puget Sound. It has a couple structures left. It was built in 1901, the original structure. And there's also what I was looking at down there was a gun battery, and I'm really curious if we can get closer to it. Not sure if it was I don't think it ever had guns on it, but let's go check it out. That area down there looks a lot more manageable than what I was just walking on. Found my way back to an actual trail. Oh. Here we go. Get my feet. All right. We made it. Let's go check it out. Here we are. Bunch of caution and keep out signs. Danger areas. Help to defend the minefield in Rich Passage. There's a battery across the street, also, or across the water, called Fort Ward, and they decided against it. That's what it used to look like. Pretty crazy what it looks like now. Part of me wonders if they put that there so people don't go down. You have a map. Why do you need to go look? So a shot from the front side, and then there's this little spot. I think that cement wall that we saw in that old picture was right there. And we can even go down this way, get right up next to the water, and have a good look at it. I wonder how old that is. That's where the guns would have been mounted, here close to us, and then on the other side over there. Everybody manning them would be down in there. Ready to protect the bay. I'm gonna stay here for a little bit. Wait for this another ferry to come in going towards Bremerton. You can kind of see it in the distance, way out there. Let's wait for it to come in. So I took that ferry shot just because I thought it'd be cool, but then sitting here in front of where a cannon battery would be, I can see why they may have only needed 2 guns to protect this area. That ship was really close. So if they tried to come through here at all with any other ships, I think 2 big cannons would be enough. Mushrooms. This crazy little drop off along here, going down from the trail into the water. And look over, there's a little metal pipe right there. I wonder if that's what they used for water supply way back when. Or drain. I guess it is salt water. Some old cement pillars down here, maybe from a pier or something way back when. Some broken up cement. Let's see if there's any over on this side. Oh, maybe there's a bunch over here. A piece of metal in that bark. I'm always fascinated by things that are left over from the past. I wish I had a guidebook for everything I see, so I didn't have to question anything. There's more of that pipe. I really wonder what that's for. Old paved road, forgotten, just covered over with gravel, right on the trail here. A couple more remnants here in the middle. These trees are barely holding on. They're living, but barely holding on. Probably someday fall into the water here. Here's the old torpedo, or what we'd call now mine warehouse. Even a couple replicas out front there. Built in 1901. Right over here is the ignition, or I guess the blasting caps, or whatever was used to set the mines off was stored in that building right there. This was created to a recreation area in 1981. If we look in, you can see the old railroad tracks where the mines would be on. I think that clicking is to keep the bats out of here. An old fireplace to keep the place warm. And now you can cook your burgers in it. It's wrong, it's not bats. It's birds. Ultrasonic bird repeller. Obviously there's been some repairs to parts of it, especially this fireplace here. People have recently tried to have fires in it by the looks of it. That's what they used to look like right there. The mines. That's what the whole facility looked like in 1905. There's the battery, where we're at now. Those things will be floating in the water out there, waiting for enemies to attack, which never actually happened. About it. I'm back on the trail. Just gonna have to find my way back to my car. Looks like I got a little bit of a hike to go. Nice little interesting piece of Puget Sound history that they're trying to keep. And now it's just a nice spot to go camping and hang out with your family during the day. Saw another building in the woods. I'm gonna try and check it out. Don't know if this trail leads to it, but I'll be patient and wait and see what's going on. By the way, there's just a lot of cool looking trees here. Yeah, that kind of looks like an animal. You see it? Maybe? Alright, this spot wasn't on the maps. There's a bunch of birds up here too. See them? What was this? Some sort of building? Bunker? Little holes here. A lot of birds around here. There's two little buildings right here too. Structures. Interesting. Looks like an old pump house. Supplied water or steam. I don't know what those would be for. Interesting. Let's see if we can open up that one. Looks about the same thing. Makes me wonder what kind of things are under this hill that I'm on. Some writing on here. Can't quite make it all out. Maybe my best guess would be maybe this is where a water tower was, and those were the valves for it in those little structures. Doesn't sound hollow, but who knows? Pretty cool. Just came a little bit higher up the hill. Looks like we're about as high as we can be around here. Heading back to my car. A pretty nice little walk around the park. I've never been on these trails before. Maybe we'll see more structures or ruins of the past. If not, I'm just going to enjoy this walk and see where it takes me. Piece of wood laying down here. Interesting. I think that's just mud. I think it's just mud. Honestly, don't know which way to go. I believe I have to go in this direction. just came out of the area behind me where all those leaves are on the trail back into this open area. I believe if we were to go that way would be the way we started. But I'm gonna go check out this area. I thought I saw another structure. Let's go see what it is. Coming up on it, it's a big cement pad, some blocks. Hard to tell what used to be here. Any sort of signage. Could have been maybe where the barracks used to be. There used to be barracks here too. Blocks. And out here, the foundation of a building. Another shed. Looks like this used to be the entrance. This is just riddled with like old cement pads. I'm always curious. I just wish I could look somewhere and know what it used to be. Here's another old structure. Just the foundation left. Let's go check that out. I bet this area used to be barracks area. So there's also this over here. I really think this is probably where the guys that manned the battery that we were looking at earlier used to stay when they weren't on duty. Not sure what all the rocks are about, but pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. Part of me wishes I could have a metal detector in places like these to see if anything was left behind or buried, you know? But then think to myself, there's probably a lot of old bolts and wiring and nails and a lot of stuff that is just kind of junk that I would probably find mostly. So I don't know if it'd be worth it in a place like this, but it'd still be pretty cool to see what I could find. There's a little bunny in there, or a big bunny actually. You see him? Right in the middle. There he goes. Oop, off he goes. I made it back to the original trail that got me here. I passed that the first cement pad that I saw coming up here to that clearing. And we're at the top of the hill. It just made me wonder if that used to be like a lookout area to pass messages down to the guys in the battery below about incoming ships. Not gonna lie, I got lost there for a little bit. Didn't quite know how to get back to the trail, but I'm back on the trail, right where I came from. Almost back to my car. It was a pretty fun trip. Alright, so made it back to my car. Gotta go get some lunch. I'm hungry. Didn't even probably hit half the trails here. Pretty cool place. If you ever get the chance, you check out Manchester State Park, Port Orchard. I'm hungry. Hot, sweaty too.